everybody, thanks for joining me today for Cook's Corner. I'm Christy, and today we are going to be making the Cherry Cheesecake Sliders. And I personally have never made these before, but this recipe was given to me and the family truly loves them, so I figured why not give it a try. So what we're going to need today, I wish I could show you all of the ingredients at once, but it makes it a little bit difficult. So first of all, you need to turn your oven on 350 and let that preheat. The recipe calls for a 9x13 pan. We don't have a 9x13 pan, so what I've done is I greased, what you're going to need to do, we just use the spray vegetable oil. I sprayed both of the pans. These are like an 8x8, so I'm going to actually be using two of these pans instead of the 9x13. So turn your oven on 350. Get your 9x13 pan if you have one. If not, you can do what I did. Make sure you coat it again with the vegetable spray. Once that's done, you just go ahead and set it to the side. The next thing that you're going to need is a package of the Hawaiian sweet rolls. I don't know if this comes in a store brand or not, but these are on sale this week at Kroger's. So I just went ahead and purchased the actual the Hawaiian brand. What is it? King's Hawaiian brand, and you're going to need the size for the 12 pack. So go ahead and purchase that. You're also going to need 8 ounces of cream cheese for the main portion, and this needs to be room temperature. If you want to go ahead and make it before you have time, just put it in a bowl like I did and put it in the microwave just to soften it up a bit, because we're going to be mixing that. Then you're going to need 1/2 cup of regular granular sugar, and you're going to need 1 can of the cherry pie filling. So it doesn't matter what brand, get what's comfortable to you. All of that's going to actually be put on top of the sliders. For the topping, you're going to need to have, we use the real butter, you're going to need at least 1/4 cup of melted butter. This is going to be for the topping. And you're going to need 1/4 cup graham crackers crushed, which I'm going to do that. I'm not really sure how many crackers. I'll let you know. It takes for a 1/4 cup. I have no idea. And then you're going to need two teaspoons, of regular granular sugar as well. And this is what goes on to the topping after you pull it out of the oven. Of course, we're going to break this down and do it together. I just want to make sure you have all of your ingredients. And then the good part, the cream cheese frosting. So you're going to need another 1/4 of the cream cheese at room temperature. I haven't cut mine yet, but I will. So this is just the block cream cheese is how I purchased it. I don't think I would use the whip, so make sure you get the block. And then you're going to need 1 teaspoon vanilla, which we have here. And you're going to need 1 cup confectioner sugar. And I would show it to you, but we have ours kind of like this. So this is our powdered sugar. And we'll measure it out together. So that's all the ingredients that you're going to need to make the cherry cheesecake sliders. So again, turn your oven on 350, get your pans sprayed and put off to the side. The next step is we're going to open up the sweet rolls. And if you have a serrated like bread knife, this would be super easy for you, because you can literally take down the sides, hold the top and cut them literally in half, which would be super fast and super easy. But unfortunately, we don't have that here. So I'm going to take just a regular paring knife without destroying them, and hopefully it cuts through pretty easy, and it's going to for me, thank goodness. So put your bottoms, save your tops, but put your bottoms inside your prepared pan. So right now, all that's in it is your spray grease. So you're gonna cut your Hawaiian rolls in half, and you're gonna place the bottoms just in it. I'm gonna see how many I can do here. I think I'm going to put 6 and 6, obviously. So go ahead and do all of your rolls, cut your rolls in half, and place them in your prepared pan. Okay, so here's how I have to do mine, the 6. I'm not sure of how comfortable I am with the sides. It might just kind of spooze out a little bit more when you're cooking it. And then I have your other one. So this is the 12 bottom halves of the sweet rolls. I'm going to push that to the side. And the block of cream cheese I have into the bowl, and again, this is room temperature cream cheese, 8 ounce block. To that, we are going to add the 1/2 cup sugar, and this is the granular sugar. Seems like you never have enough counter space. We have a little scoop in here. I don't know if that's going to help me out or not. you want to, you can level it off, just which means I got a little bit of chunks here from where the air has gotten into it. And just kind of scrape it off. So this is 1/2 cup granular sugar. You're going to add it to the cream cheese block. And then you're going to mix it until smooth. I would recommend using a beater if you have one. If not, you can literally just take a spoon and mix it up. So I'm going to choose to use the mixer. Okay, as you can tell, guys, I'm outside because it's absolutely gorgeous and there are no electrical outlets out here at Town Hall. So voila, I had to go inside to mix it up. But because the cream cheese, let me scoot over, because the cream cheese has been softened, you shouldn't have any of the large chunks, which you guys can see there are no large chunks in this. It's not going to affect the taste, honestly, unless you get one of those chunks, because they don't really break down. But so on top of your rolls, you're going to go ahead, and this is just the cream cheese and sugar that we've mixed, either by electric mixer, which I went in to do, or again by hand. I have to take and kind of split it in half because I have 2 pans. But on top of your bottoms that are in there, you're just going to go ahead and spread this on top. Make a nice even layer. And if some falls off, it's not the end of the world. Just kind of spread it around. And I might have to come back and put some more on there. I want to make sure I have enough for my other portion. This stuff smells so good already. Okay, a little bit more because we are not going to let this go to waste. And this is where if you're at home, you know, I always try to make it like it's the recipe calls for, or if I'm creating, excuse me, making my own. The first time I make it, I try to stay as the recipe calls. But then once you experiment more, like this is the time where if you choose a different pie filling, or if you wanted to add chocolate chips, you could probably do so. If you wanted to add some nuts, now would be the time. So I got mine on this cream cheese mixture, nice and spread it out. As you can see, nothing left in here. If I was at home, I'd be licking the spoon, but not going to happen. I just had hair in my mouth, so I have to be somewhat civil. So here you go. And we're going to put it to the side. Next step is you're going to take your cherry pie filling. And it's supposed to have these easy tops that are never quite that easy. Oh my goodness. I'm going to use the same spoon. And then we're going to take the cherry pie filling and put on top of your cream cheese mixture. This is what I was talking about. Since it doesn't cover the entire pan, it might fall to the side, but I don't think it's going to matter much. So pretty. And if you can't do cherries, I'm sure, like I said, they have blueberry. I saw apple today. I saw strawberry. I'm just going to go with what the recipe calls for. Actually, that wasn't too bad. Kind of fit on there pretty nice. Okay, and that's just your cherry pie filling on top of both of mine. That's your next step. After you put your cherry pie filling on top, you're going to take your buns and try to remember which way you have them going. Put your 6 buns back on top. And this is when it would be helpful if, again, if you didn't have to separate them, you could just put them right on top without the separation marks in there. But I think that's going to be okay. That's your next step. So we're going to place this to the side again. And now is the graham crackers. I don't know. I know in the store you can buy the pre-crushed graham crackers. If you use a lot of them, that might be the way to go. Here we don't use that much. We kind of tend to use more of the actual full-size graham crackers. So it calls for 1/4 cup. I'm not really sure how many of these sticks or slabs, whatever you want to call them, is going to take. So I'm just going to take, I don't know, 2, 4, 5. Let's do 6. So these are in 6 individual, looks like I'm like a car dealer. And we're gonna put them in the baggie. And we're gonna crush them up. You want them to be really fine. So just stick them in a bag. This is when your kids can help you if they want to. Get a rolling pin if you want to, or they can literally crush them like I am by hand. But I think I had too many. I got a little anxious on this one. So don't do what I did. 6 is way too much. I should have known better. But I'm going to tell you exactly how many it is so you don't have to guess like I did. Keep on smashing. Okay, so I went ahead and crushed all of mine, and this part of the recipe, because we are going to actually brush this on top of the buns, I try to make it, I think you should make it, I shouldn't say because I've never made it before, but in my head I'm thinking make it as fine as possible. So I'm outdoors like I've already said, so I took the bottle of vanilla and I just kind of rubbed it. And now my graham crackers is graham cracker dust. So let's see, I put 6 slabs in there. We need 1/4 cup. And I've got quite a bit left over, so I'm thinking maybe 3 of the actual graham cracker slabs. I put 6, not knowing. So hopefully you won't have to have the same mistake I just did. But you can save this because this is going to be so good, you're going to want to make it again. So I put mine in a Ziploc baggie. I'll seal it shut and save it for the next time. So you're going to take your 1/4 cup of butter, put it in a microwave safe bowl, put it in the microwave enough to melt it. I put mine in there for 20 seconds. You're gonna take your 1/4 cup of your crushed graham crackers and add it to it. And we are going to stir it. And I'm going to take my teaspoon because I forgot to bring out a spoon. So I don't want to stop the video for that part. So we're gonna take it and just kind of stir it up. If you don't have a brush like we have here, don't worry about it. I mean, honestly, you could try to pour this out. You can spread it on with a spoon. They're recommending that you actually take a pastry brush and do it. I don't really think it's necessary. I think you can coat it pretty easily either way if you don't have one. So we're going to mix that all in. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and put it on top of the buns. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys just because I'm curious if it's gonna pick up the crumbs or not with the pastry brush. I'm kind of old school. See, I don't know if you can tell it. It's kind of got the real fine. And I mean, I guess I would have to say it does coat the buns really well. But if you don't have it and you use like just a spoon, put a little bit on there, I mean, I think it would be just fine. I'm not sure which method I prefer. I don't know. You guys can do what you guys like best. I just don't think it's going to get all the crumbs. So after you put all your topping on there, and you want to use it all, so just like you guys don't have it separated like I do. Brush all your topping on. And then next you're just going to put it in the oven that should be preheated on 350. Let me push this to the side and get my other set. So we're going to do this. We're going to coat it, put it in the oven for 350, cover this with aluminum foil, then bake it for about 20 minutes. Okay, so I put my sliders into the oven. Again, you're going to cover it with aluminum foil. I was a little surprised that they didn't say spray the aluminum foil before you put it on top, just because in my mind I'm thinking that the graham cracker could stick. But again, we mixed it with butter. So time will tell as far as that. So bake it for about 20 minutes. You're going to take it out of the oven, take the aluminum foil off, put it back in the oven for 5 minutes until it gets a nice golden brown. So that's where we're at right now. Once that does come out of the oven, we are going to put the cream cheese frosting on. So you want to go ahead and open up your block and cut it to be a 1/4 and let this get room temperature while it's cooking. And if not, you can simply, if you forget that part, don't worry about it. You can just put it again, open this up, take the aluminum foil off, put it in a microwave safe dish and put it in there for maybe 15-20 seconds to get it soft. But right now I'm going to go ahead and clean up the workspace a little bit while those are cooking, and we'll get back together here soon. Okay, so my cinnamon rolls are still in the oven. Or cinnamon rolls, for goodness sakes, the sliders are still in the oven. I could always use cinnamon rolls, obviously. Anyway, two of my pet peeves. I dislike cleaning that pastry brush, so that's why I was telling you guys, you can use a spoon, and honestly, I ended up just using a butter knife and smearing it on the top because I wanted the crumbs to be on the top and just not on the sides. So I tried the pastry brush, not a fan. I tried the actual teaspoon, just a regular cereal type spoon. It worked out really well by pressing it on the back, but the favorite was just the plain old butter knife, scooping it on there and smearing it. So those are in the oven. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna jump to the cream cheese drizzle on top. I'll say that again, cream cheese drizzle, very good. So anyway, you're going to take your 1/4 the block of cream cheese, and I have the, how much butter? I cannot remember. 1/4 cup. So 1/4 and 4 ounces cream cheese, a 1/4 cup butter. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the microwave for a minute to make sure it's extra soft, because another one of my pet peeves is washing the beaters from the mixer. I have no idea why it bothers me. It bothers me. So I just washed them because I used it to make up the cream cheese mixture before for the actual slider part. I don't know why I didn't think about it, but I needed it again. So if you don't like to wash them, leave it out because you're going to need it for this step. It's basically the same thing. You can reuse it again. But I'm going to try to do this with a fork because I'm honestly feeling like that today. So I'm going to go ahead and heat this up and see if I can get it to be a little bit more creamier without pulling out the beaters again. In the meantime, I didn't bring the camera inside with me, but the timer went off for the 20 minutes. I'm kind of borderline thinking it could use another 5, but I did go ahead and take the aluminum foil off, so now it has 5 more minutes anyway to get the top nice and brown. I'm going to let you know to see if that's, every oven's different and it's kind of like a personal preference, but I think I would have liked to have kept my aluminum foil on, but I did take it off, and now they're just in there cooking without the foil for the additional 5 minutes. So I went ahead and put this in the microwave. It is just the 1/4 ounce of the cream cheese again, and the 1/4 of the butter. And I think I'm going to probably regret not getting the beaters back out, but I'm going to go ahead and try with it as it is. To that, you are going to add 1 cup of the confectioner's sugar, and I have a 1/2 cup out here. I don't want that to throw you, so I'm just going to actually do it twice to make the 1 cup. So this is going to be 1 cup of the powdered sugar, and to that, let me go ahead and put the lid on this. Go. So we got the powdered sugar in there, and to that we are going to add 1 teaspoon of the vanilla, and because of my lazy self, I think I'm going to regret it, but I'm going to go ahead and try. What I'm going to do is say it's for the sake of the people who don't have a mixer. So as you can see, I'm just using a fork. And I know it's going to take me a lot. I hear you, Mom. Mom in the background in my head is saying, my gosh, Christy, just go get the mixer. But you know what? I'm stubborn that way. I don't think it's going to matter. I always used to look at her and say it doesn't matter about the taste anyway. It always tastes the same. It might not always look the prettiest. But so you can see it's mixing up actually kind of nice. So I'm pleased. So you don't need the mixer as long as your butter's kind of soft, not melted though. Don't make sure your butter is not melted for this. No melted butter, just soft enough to make it spread for the icing. Never ever use the melted butter for the icing; it messes it up. So there, looks really good. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rolls, and we're going to spread this on top while the rolls are hot. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so ours is done, and as you can see, the topping is on there, and you can see it because I put it on with a knife. So it says to actually drizzle the powdered sugar, but this isn't really drizzle consistency, so I'm going to actually spread it on there. All right, everybody, mine is done. The pan is actually really hot, and the 20 minutes I guess was okay. I do have to say though, when I took the aluminum foil off, I left mine in there for like 7 minutes just because it doesn't seem to be getting crunchy on top. The drizzle was really thick. I don't know if it's because I used a fork or not. Maybe it'd be a little bit more creamy if I would have done the beaters. If you want it to be a pretty drizzle, you could probably put it in a Ziploc bag, cut the corner off, and make a pretty drizzle on it. This is quite a bit of drizzle, so I ended up, as you can see, kind of just like spooning it on, and then you spooned it on with, I kind of just did dollops on top of all of 12 of them, and then I took the back of the spoon and just kind of smeared it. So right now they kind of have a look of a cinnamon roll, but they look so pretty. Let me get my oven mitts on. And so this is what you can see. Some of the cherry on this one drizzled out a little bit just because, remember, I had to do 6 and 6, so it's on the side, but we'll scrape it and cut it. But basically, once you have it on there, you want to slice these, and you do want to serve them warm. To save them, because of the cream cheese in it, I would recommend covering them and putting them in the fridge, eating them within 3 days if they last that long. But this is my version of the cherry cheesecake sliders. And let me know if you have any questions. You can email cduckworth, DUCKWORTH, @groveport.org. Otherwise, thank you for joining me. I'll see you guys in October for something, I'm sure, pumpkin. Have a good day. Bye.